Hey guys, it's Tuesday and it's time for another Movie Monkey review. That's right. This week I saw CoCo, a Pixar production, and like all Pixar movies, absolutely stunning. I loved it. The look, the feel of the movie, really energetic for this strange, emotional movie. And I'm going to get right into the plot because I want to just talk about this plot and what the movie is trying to portray. And visually stunning. I really enjoyed it. So there's this kid, Miguel, and he wants to play music. And his family is completely against music because of this trauma that was instilled on this entire family, where his great great grandmother and his great grandmother were abandoned by her husband. Like, they were abandoned. Um, and so they swore off music. The great 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 grandmother, the great great grandmother, whatever her name is, swears off music and decides he'll make shoes. So I thought that was a little weird, but all the other characters in in that family hate music, and there's this like hatred of music that is terrible for our main character because he wants to be a musician. And like, this to me could have been even more juicy and driven around this trauma that has been passed down 4 generations. It's like a 4 generation trauma thing going on, where people get abandoned, and that fear and hatred and sadness and regret is passed down from generation to generation to really kind of mess up this family a little bit around a culture, this Mexican culture of music and mariachi bands, and they just, it's such a traumatic thing for an entire family to be hurt by this event, this isolated event that really changed all these lives. And like, what does that mean? It's kind of weird because, in like, thinking now of like Murder on the Orient Express, where everyone did it because, if you haven't seen the movie, I'm going to spoil that movie too, because like this one guy stole this child and killed the kid. And because that happened, like, all these other people, all their lives got ruined. And it's kind of like that, instead of it being broad, where that one event affected a dozen people, it's narrow, and where that one event affected 4 generations of people. And so it's a really interesting thing to be portrayed in a children's movie, right? About, oh yeah, that's so much better. Lighting is so much better. Like, this children's movie where it's fun and it's like super exciting, and I really enjoyed the colors and the sets and the I don't know, the artistry of this movie. I can go and see this movie again just to look at all the artistry of it. And that this movie has like this deep tone of what can happen if you hold on to hatred. It really messes a lot of people up, and it generationally messes them up in the same way. I couldn't believe how open the parent, like, the thing that could have happened in this movie could have been very adult, and like this kid could have been beaten and like so I guess how this movie addresses this hatred is that he can go back to the real realm as long as he never plays music. The main character can't play music anymore. And it causes the character to be like, screw this, if I can't play music, I don't want to live. So I get to go and figure out a way to get back and be able to play music. So I'm going to find my great-great-grandfather who will let me go back. And stuff ensues, and it's like really good and revealing, and there's like this really traumatic of like, if you're forgotten by your family, then you will cease to exist. Like if everyone who knew who you were forgets about you, you've never existed. It's the same thing, and it's coming to terms with that. It was a character like completely is eradicated from memory and he's gone, and then there's this other character who doesn't want that to happen to him, which is this like huge ego thing about having to be remembered, and if you're remembered then you're strong and that you're like your spirit goes on, but if you're forgotten then you're gone forever. No one left knows who you are, and that's terrifying, you know. And which is this, I wonder if that's the culture and why family is so put on Latin American culture, because of this relationship with like, if I am forgotten, then it's almost like I've never existed, so I need to impact as many people as possible so I can become like almost immortal. My life becomes immortal. And where I was going with this was that the main character can go back to the real world if he accepts that he will never be able to play music again, which he can't, and until he's like scared straight around music. Well, this movie I think could have been much darker. They could do the same plot, almost the same thing, except live action, not about skeletons, and then just about this the main character wants to play music and everyone else in the family has been traumatized around not playing music, and how the elders of the family try to convince them and make them and manipulate them into being a person who hates music, or trying to get them to change a kid to like hate music and to change his dreams and aspirations because of this. It could get really deep, really dark, I think. And I mean, that's something that is really real. It could happen where they find out that the father never really, the great-great-grandfather never really abandoned the family, and that the family is healed because of this, and they find like these notes and these letters, and that's what solves this problem. Or it could be like really dark where this family is super abusive, verbally and physically abusive to this kid to like get him to stop the pursuit of playing music, because music has been portrayed as the villain for so long that drives this family insane. And like to me, it was like this kid would like commit suicide, and that would be the end of the movie. Or even a book or something could be written about this kind of tragic event where one specific event, misunderstanding, causes the destruction of multiple generations of family. Very interesting, great concept, loved it, and I love the happy ending. Love the happy ending. I'm just saying, if you want that shit deep, you can get deep. That was a Movie Monger rant. See you later, guys.